Hello, Torah Tots!
Shabbat Shalom, Torah Tots! We are so excited to launch this new feature, our weekly trip through the Torah. Today, we are celebrating Parashah Noach. Say the name with a hard cuss sound at the end. Noach. Have you ever helped your grown-ups start something new? That's what we are doing today. Now, let's jump right in. Last week, we learned that God made the entire world in 6 days. But as time went by, the world became sad and noisy. People were not being kind to each other, and they made God's beautiful garden a difficult place to live. There was one man, however, named Noach, who was kind and faithful. God told Noah that he needed to reset the world and asked Noah to do something huge, build a giant boat, an ark. This ark was not just for Noach's family, his wife, 3 sons, and their wives. It was for all the animals too. God told Noah to take of every kind of animal, a male and a female, onto the ark. Imagine that zoo! Tiny mice, big elephants, colorful parrots, even slithering snakes. Noah and his family worked for many years. Can you imagine hammering all those planks? They had to trust God completely, even though no one had ever seen a flood before. When the ark was ready and every creature was safe inside, the rains began. It rained and rained for 40 days and 40 nights. The water covered everything, and the ark floated safely on the water. Inside, it was a cozy, noisy, floating home for all of God's creatures. Finally, after a whole year passed, the waters went down. Noah sent out a raven, and then a dove. The first time, the dove came back. But the second time, it came back with a fresh olive leaf. That was the sign. Land was dry. The door to the ark opened, and all the animals ran out onto the fresh, green earth. What a party that must have been! Noah and his family stepped out, took a deep breath of the fresh air, and thanked God for saving them. God then showed Noach a beautiful, colorful rainbow stretching across the entire sky. This rainbow wasn't just pretty colors. It was a special, eternal promise. God promised Noach and all the world that he would never again destroy the world with a flood. It was a promise of peace, safety, and hope for every living thing, forever. And that is the biggest lesson from Parashah Noach, keeping a promise. God kept God's promise with that rainbow, and it reminds us how important it is for us to keep our promises to our friends, our family, and to God. When you see a rainbow, remember that magnificent promise and be inspired to keep your promises this week. See you next time. Shabbat Shalom.